Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS Europe race out on the Watopia Hilly course for 4 laps. Today, riders are just about to get going out onto the course in the A category. And we will be having coverage of the the B category as well. And we will try and catch the C and perhaps D category at the end of the race as well. We did get mixed up there for a second. There we go. Just barely got with the A category as they were taking off from the start to finish line. It does look like the B and C and maybe D category are going to be starting a little bit later than the rest of the riders here. I'm going to go ahead and double check with our avatars that are lined up if we can get back into the game over on our other avatars here. But it does look like the KISS race in the A category has gotten underway. We do have Jiron here coming from the KRT team off the front right now. It looks like we're having some sort of a sound issue here though with Zwift coming through here. We're just going to make sure that we do have, there we go. And went ahead and brought up all of the amazing, oh great, now we have an awesomeness of, let's go ahead and reset. We got to reset a couple of things here for you boys and girls as our video feeds for the Zwift race today have gotten all kinds of whacked on us, so we're going to need to bring them back in on the fly for you. And give us 1 second here, boys and girls. I think we will be able to reload it and bring it right back in. And there we go. Yes, we did. It was showing us only for a little while there the rider nearby list, a gigantic rider nearby list for a little while there. That would not have been helpful whatsoever. So good to see you guys all over at the chat. We do have social media integration as well. If you do want to jump into the broadcast alongside of us, we can bring your questions, comments, as well as predictions about who is going to be winning the race today. If you would like to jump into the broadcast with us. So we do have social media integration going on. Let's go ahead and see if there's anybody. Andrew Banky, first one over at the Facebook now, bringing in his comments. Let's go ahead and bring in Andrew here real quickly. Thanks a lot, Andrew, for tuning in. We appreciate you. And so just so you guys know, giving you a little example there, Andrew gave us a comment over at the Facebook. You can also tweet at Z Community Live just as let's go ahead and see. I believe Mr. Greg Henderson did yesterday at Nathan Guerra at Greg Henderson. There was also an at Z Community Live. You have to do an at Z Community Live in the tweet and we can bring your social media right on in. We do have Frank Garcia here. Mr. Team Experimental CVR himself hanging in and amongst the riders. It looks like 5.5 watts per kilogram, 151 beats per minute. Bibby is here out of the UK right along with Allenby. I am seeing Cartwright and I believe I did see Mr. Cartwright and Allenby in the race today. So we're going to have a repeat, it looks like, perhaps, of the race this past Tuesday in the KISS Europe race. It was a solid effort all around. We are seeing tall socks, Zwift cap, and some nice glasses and a little bit of facial hair. It looks like somebody listens to the Zwiftcast and is listening to the founder of Vision here, throwing down with the solid look there that we said was the way to go for the avatar. So good to see Stephen Fleetwood out there representing Vision Cycling with the correct avatar setup according to our chat about it on the Zwiftcast. Good to see him out there. Good evening from Sweden. Popcorn and ready for tonight's race. Good to see you there, Martin. Martin, always longtime viewer, as well as the organizer of the SCR race series. If you ever want to check out Wednesday, great racing on Wednesdays. We're going to have to jump back into that as soon as we jump back into the Zwift season, get some SCR races back on the schedule. We are seeing Liam Bard here, and good to see Liam hanging out at the broadcast evening. Great to see KC Racing on the back of Hate Pyrenees be interesting to see what Ian Bibby can do on the platform. And so it is going to be interesting to see what Ian is up to out here today. Can do prior to the CVR World Cup. So Ian, one of the riders that was recently announced into the CVR World Cup. Definitely going to be interesting to see what he can do amongst the other racers. It looks like he's getting a little bit of a warm up here amongst the riders prior to hitting up the World Cup in Paris coming up. So JLT Condor is who he's riding for, it looks like, here in real life as well as in game. And that's what that verified badge is all about there. Whenever there's a verified badge, it either means that there is they're Continental Pro or some sort of a non-UCI UCI World Pro Tour team, either pro or a well-known figure in the world of sports in some sort of way, cycling. We do have Olympic rowers and others, other Olympic athletes that have jumped onto the platform that would get verified badges. So that's what those verified badges are. So how people get verified on Zwift. There you go, Kravix. That's what the verification is all about. You probably have to contact Zwift and ask them for one, and they'll say, yeah, you can get one, or nah, it's probably not down your alley. So innovation here with C Orgel now, right along with Firestone 3 is here as well. We'll give him a ride on leading things out, Pelosi. But these are the boys at the front end leading things out into what is going to be a hurricane of pain here in just a moment. When they head on up the reverse Watopia climb, that is when things are really going to be heating up out on course, and most likely when we see the initial breaks in this pack right here. So let's go ahead and see what's happening over at the Twitch. Good to see Jaguar Team TFC as well as Szymanski over at the Twitch channel. Thanks a lot for tuning in. It does look like we got quite a few viewers over at the Mixer channel. I can see all of your chat as well, so go ahead and jump into the chat and bring your predictions about who's going to win today. We do have a lot of heavy hitters though with and now we've lost. No. Oh, boys and girls, broadcast mode, Zwift. I need a full on broadcasting mode. Let's go ahead and real quick, what we're going to do now, as I am full on stuck at this point, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in over at this other computer and try and bring you, I'm going to try and push the ride with button and see if we can bring in at least another avatar. Otherwise, what we can also do is log out here and hit the ride with button as well. But Johnny, I hope you're here and can see what's happening here. And just so you know, still, it hasn't happened in a while, but we still need a full-on broadcasters mode. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the event. That's too bad. I'm not going to have the riders nearby any longer. I'm going to need to log out of here very quickly. Nathan is entertaining enough. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. I try and keep things as entertaining as I possibly can. We can head on over to zwiftpower.com, though, and see the live results. Currently, I can tell you that 4.8 watts per kilogram is for 20 minutes coming from Christensen, as he is the highest out of everybody so far. Actually, no, D. Christensen from Innovation as well at 5.2, and V. Mateus there from Bike Point at 5.1. I'm wondering about Mr. D. Allenby, though, because last time we saw him at a 3.8 watts per kilogram for the duration of the race, and still won the race. Oh no, it took a second place to Tim Cartwright. Tim Cartwright had to throw down quite the effort though yesterday in order to hold off Mr. Allenby though. All right, we're logging back into the game here. We cannot get our second Zwift up as well, so we're definitely just going to have to work with what we got here with Zwift. For those of you who are new to Zwift, here's a nice little experience of what it looks like when you're logging in. This is where you put all your power sources in. You search for them in the room: heart rate, power source, or your speed sensor and classic trainer, your cadence sensor, and controllable trainer if you do have a smart trainer that can give you the feeling of the real world feeling as you go up and down all of the climbs. Let's go ahead and skip right on through here. Now you can see all the people that I follow. Jonathan Levy is here, John Kerr, KC, Rachel Elliott's there. BJ Alfonso. Frank Garcia is going to help us. Actually, no, we're going to go with Adam as Frank might be getting dropped off from the front pack right about now. These are all the events that are going on the right-hand side that are coming up pretty soon within the next 11 hours or so. If we could still join, if it was prior to the race, we'd be able to jump into the KISS race and push A, B, or C, or D category, depending on which one we're going to go to. XRS ZTR race later tonight does give you an example of what that looks like when you got the A, B, or C, or D category. But Adam is going to give us a open world look at joining him, though, in the race right now, as they probably are heading down the other side of the climb. So let's get right into the racing, as you're going to see my avatar jump right on in with these boys and girls as long as things load up. And there we go. And Adam actually taking it at 10.3 watts per kilogram up and over the top, and it looks like Nathan's trying to hold on to the avatar there and is going to be drafting all the way down the other side. I wonder if Adam thinks that I'm like jumping in to race with him right now. Oh no, he can't see me actually, because he only sees riders that are in the event right now. Adam does have Allenby right on his wheel. Now, as you can see, there are 723 other people online right now. A lot of times people are like, okay, what's going on? Is this a massive open world? What's going on with the riders that we can see everywhere? Now you are going to see how many riders are actually out on course. It is no longer called for us. Now, the racers, though, they only see those that are actually out on course in the race. Amongst them until they finish out the distance of the race that is out there. Tim Cartwright now making his way to the front right along with Alexis Luge. We do have the Melting Man, and then it will be Christensen, Mateus there from Bike Point, and then we also do have C. Loke Allenby. Frank Garcia still hanging amongst the boys. Allenby, though, off the front. He's actually making an early attack. Not going to be sitting in today. Looks like he was resting up for this race, maybe with that 3.8 watts per kilogram for the duration of Box Hill. And now what's going on here, Johnny giving me a little bit of a comment there. Are you going to draft him for the rest of the race? No, Johnny, I'm not going to draft him for the rest of the race. I love it. You're hilarious, buddy. But you did see what was happening there, and we need to maybe try and push for full-on broadcaster I think controls, though. See Orgel here, at least make it so I'm not eliminated from the ability to move around in the race and stuck in the pens if my avatar is still over there. See Loke now from Innovation here with 3 laps to go. They've finished 1 and they did it in 12:03. Crazy fast lap. Absolutely great job all around to the riders that have made the lead group right now. But 17 seconds back, it will be Kyle Augustine. Not going to be the sprinters day to day. The BMX rider coming out of, I believe he's living in the UK right now, but originally a Kiwi out of New Zealand. 154 beats per minute. He's going to be waiting up, it looks like, for TCIAL from the KRT team, as well as Mark McIntosh out in no man's land. Stephen Fleetwood was dropped off on the climb, it looks like, as well. Team Experimental, Vision Cycling, KRT here. The three, these three plus WBR and PTZ, some of the oldest teams out on Zwift. Good to see them all involved in this race. Some of these teams have been formed, is it going on almost 2 years now? Pretty amazing, and good to see them actually over 2 years for their in-game presence. So good to see them still out there going strong, and some of the strongest teams out on the race course here. But we do have Alexis Luge in the old school WBR kit still. Good to see it out on course there. Wondering why he's wearing the old school one, though. But coming out of France here, Alexis Luge for the WBR team. Innovation here now making their way to the front with Orgel. Allenby has been caught by Cartwright. Cartwright not going to let that get away here from the KRT team. Cartwright with that W soloing off the front in the Tuesday night race out on the London course. Allenby was not allowed to get away there as well, the two juggernauts, along with Webb, who, without the super long uphill grind and the more tactical climb, maybe looking for a W out here today. I'm not sure he's been able to take out Cartwright in quite a while, though, so be watching out for that. 334 on the climb. That is 6. Dwan, there isn't a higher advantage right now, it seems like, with the draft in game, though, with the groups. The groups are traveling a little bit faster than they were a few weeks ago, or even a month ago. So 334 and then plus the drafting up and over the top of the climb is probably impacting that. So, but solid, still a solid, amazing effort there. 3:34 is flying, and probably around I would probably think they gained about that 14 seconds or so for a 3:50, as the group is traveling pretty fast. We are seeing Jay Levy out on course there. I think he's out there doing some epic KOMs, as you can see up above me here. These are not a part of the actual these are not part of the actual race here, but these are the current times out on course for the fastest times for those sections. Actually, you can actually, every time you head through a start-finish banner or any of these banners, so you're seeing the fastest lap out here for the Hilly loop on the reverse. You're also seeing the fastest sprint for the reverse, and then you are also seeing the fastest KOM for the reverse. And those are actually jerseys that you can grab out on course and hold on to for the duration of 1 hour after you earn them. The Epic KOM currently going to Jay Levy. Jonathan Levy, man, that's a crazy fast time, dude. That's up into about 5.5, 5.4 watts per kilogram or so. So solid effort there up and over the top of the Epic KOM at 1844. We are also seeing C. Metcalf as well as P. Cruz with some of those Volcano jerseys right now. Agreed, group drive is a bit stronger, Dwayne is saying. I've noticed this in racing the past 2 weeks myself. Yeah, groups are going really, really fast right now. I think there's a lot going on with the development of groups for who knows what reasons, but I think there is maybe, I think when they start toying with something that's been the same for a while, you might be wanting to watch out for new features on their way, since they were seem to be messing with it a little bit to try and get something down. We'll have to wait and see what those new features might be down the road, but I have a feeling that that might have something to do with why they're messing with the group drafting dynamics as of recently. See Orgel here now out of Innovation now making his way to the front, still at 189 beats per minute though. Solid effort here. At that kind of a heart rate, though, what does Orgel max out at? Because if he's that high of a heart rate prior to even hitting the climb, he might be in a little bit of trouble once they actually head into the climb out on Zwift here. Orgel here, as we're looking at the back of the Italian Village buildings there with some top secret Easter eggs. It looks like there 32 races out on Zwift coming out of the United Kingdom. Orgel, actually, it looks like an inline skater, perhaps. According to his Strava pick, actually, that's pretty cool. We do see him at a finish line in his Strava pick for inline skating, outdoor skating races. It looks like there, pretty cool to see. He's taken a 24th in the KISS Europe race, a 12th in the WBR Impact race. In the KISS Europe race on Sunday, he did the 23rd of July. He took an 11th. So it's been a little while since he's been out on Zwift for a race in the KISS Europes, maybe a week, and then back behind that almost a month. And so Orgel here getting some racing under his belt again, it looks like here. Does max out at about 195 beats per minute, maybe 198, the highest we've seen actually last week out on Zwift in this exact race, I believe. And so we'll see if Orgel can better, though, his 24th. He's already in and amongst his league group here that has broken off, it looks like, down to about 12 riders. So I have a feeling he will definitely be bettering that result. Now the question is, will he be able to hang on and be the next one to bite the dust off the back? Looks like he is working for Steve Loke, though, who is one of the ones to watch out for the win out there today. There is also, who else is from Innovation here as we look through? It's going to be Orgel, it's going to be Loke, and then it is also going to be Christensen, I think, is still hanging on to this pack as well. So that is going to be your three coming from Innovation. 4.9 watts per kilogram for Christensen, 4.6 coming from Loke, and then we are seeing Orgel right around that 4.5. Alexis Luge here from the WBR, though, has been thrown down at a solid 5.0 watts per kilogram. Ian Bibby here now, though, killing it looks like so far. Has not done any Zwift races in the past, so good to see him out there getting his feet wet. It has done a solid 4.8 watts per kilogram for the duration, 169 beats per minute. I can't click on his ZwiftPower.com link for his name, as it looks like there are no past races, so we can't get any information from his stats in the past, though. We'll have to look up what his real life efforts are from riding for the Continental team over in the UK. We'll go ahead and bring up his wiki here and take a look through here. MBB is an English professional cyclist, rides for JLT Condor, also rides cyclocross, was 2010 national champion, actually. In 2015, he won the British national circuit race championship, actually. So definitely got some Palmares underneath him, Mr. Bibby here, and now at 174 beats per minute. Maybe playing it smart here, hanging in amongst some of the riders, looking for that draft at this point as they're starting to kick it up into 8, 9, 10 watts per kilogram up at the front now. And now Luge with Webb now here at the front, 6.9 watts per kilogram, 158 beats per minute now. And let's go ahead and look through a few more of these results here coming from Ian. He's going to be at the CVR World Cup, so definitely getting used to the drafting out on Zwift here. Took first overall at the Bay Classic Series and first in Stage 1, as well as the Velothon Wales. He took a first this year. Chorley Grand Prix, as well as the Lincoln Grand Prix. Third at the Road Race National Road Championships, actually. That is a huge result. And then the Tour de Korea, he took fourth overall this year. Huge result so far this year for Ian Bibby. Max International Grand Prix, first place, Wiltshire Grand Prix, and then the Rydale Grand Prix, all first place back in 2016. So very familiar with taking some W's amongst the pro peloton, actually, on that Continental team. He's currently riding for JLT Condor. Good to see the professional ranks here making their way into the Zwift racing here. 4.4 watts per kilogram coming from Allenby as he leads things out here. Up toward the front now we are seeing the Melty Man, and then Firestone 3 here, 5.4, 185 beats per minute, getting maxed out a little bit here. 181 though coming from Ian. I wonder where he maxes out at. That'll be the question. Now down to 0 RPMs for a second there. Maybe some sort of a dropout there on his cadence sensor, I think, for just a moment. C-Loke down 173. We're looking back now. Luge here, Christensen, Cartwright now. Orgel has been dropped off. We were looking at that earlier. 186 beats per minute. We were seeing him right up around there, even as they were making their way through the Italian village. So it would make sense that he might be getting dropped off. Johan Gren, good to see him out there riding for PTZ coming from Sweden. Unable to hang out with the boys. It looks like he might have had a dropout early on because he's winning a lot of races as of recently out on Zwift. The Bike Point Man now with a little bit of a attack though. 183 8.3 watts per kilogram, 147 beats per minute. Beats pretty low though for his max heart rate. So Cartwright now leading things out 6.0 for a second, and now bringing it back as this is a moment out on course where you definitely do not want to be too aggressive, as the riders will just take advantage and get that draft on your avatar. Locks now from Vision Cycling here, right along with Webb. These two are trying to go head to head, it looks like, with Innovation, as they've got two left out on course for the front end. But then there are the two juggernauts that are almost like, they're not teammates, but just having them, those two, amongst the field here with Allenby and Cartwright, you're always watching out for what they're going to be up to in and amongst the group. As you are seeing here, looking over the shoulder, there's also the Melting Man, though, is right along with them for the AB. What is the AB there from the Melting Man in and amongst the A racers? Now kicking it, though, 11 watts per kilogram, putting an attack down here, trying to get away. They might give him some space, not being Cartwright, but I don't know. The Melting Man's been crazy strong as of recent. We saw him get a couple of podiums, I think, recently. Some of his best results have been in the last month. So the Melting Man here killing it out of Canada right now. 161 beats per minute, up and over the top, grabs 4 seconds immediately, and if he gets out of sight and a little bit of ways from this group, he may be able to have some breathing room. But as we were saying earlier, the pack just travels incredibly fast all together, and if it is all together now, they will be hunting him down pretty quickly now. Locks here, 4.3. We are seeing Allenby with the classic downhill attack now, 7 watts per kilogram with that arrow power up, which does reduce the draft on his avatar. He probably grabbed it coming through the start-finish banner and saved it up just for this moment, looking to close it down. Cartwright, knowing that this is a moment of truth, kicks it into 5 watts per kilogram to try and chase down Allenby. Allenby now closing it down the Melting Man very quickly, has 18, 19, 20 meters. It's going out meter by the second now, 24 meters, 25 meters. Allenby, if he gets away, we saw 3.8 watts per kilogram from this man for the duration of the London Loop, and still took second place to Cartwright on Tuesday. So if he gets away with any kind of breathing room, he may not be seen again. He's got 4 seconds over the likes of Cartwright and the rest of the group at this point. 397 watts. He can hold this down probably for a solid 5 minutes straight and open things up as they go flying by Nathan's avatar out there just viewing things for fun. We're actually clicking through our power-ups, as you can see up in the upper left-hand corner there. It's kind of funny. Christensen now 5.2, trying to get back on terms, it looks like, with the front of this race. Firestone is there as well. Cartwright now 5 seconds up from those two. They're the next ones to bite the dust off the back, and if they don't throw down 7 watts per kilogram for quite a bit here, they're not going to be seeing the front end of this this group again. Mateus now, bike point, Loke now, and it looks like the Melty Man, 2.7 watts per kilogram. It's about a group of, let's go ahead and look down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 riders now, as they're gonna have 2 laps to go in this Thursday night KISS European race. Now we still got Bibby hanging out, winning in and amongst the Zwift racers. The Pro Peloton meets the Zwift racers for a throwdown for 2 more laps out here today. Locks now from Vision Cycling. Luge now we're going to give him a ride on. Luge has already got one from us from the WBR, still hanging in there. Loke though now at 168 beats per minute, making sure that Cartwright and Allenby don't go anywhere just yet. All right, let's go ahead and see what's going on with the comments coming on in. Watching is harder than racing it. Joe Gavin Richardson. Is that because I'm assuming because innovation's out there. Joe Gavin Richardson does ride for innovation in the world of Zwift. Good to see you tuning in, Joe Gavin. And I have a feeling maybe because we were seeing a couple of innovation boys in a spot of bother here and there, but you still got, it looks like, Loke as well as, who else is in there? We do have Loke. Where is the other man? I believe it was Christensen. So it's just Loke left over. So we'll have to see if he can throw down and bring in the W. If you're cheering on the Innovation Boys, they've got 1 left in and amongst the pack today. We are seeing Rich Homies. Good to see you hanging out over at the broadcast. This is not the Tour de France. This is actually the Tour de Zwift going on right now out on the Watopia classic course. 11:44, boys and girls, 11:44. They took 15 seconds off their time on that last lap. What kind of craziness did they do? They did 3:34 up and over the top of the climb. So they're getting faster actually on their KOMs and their fast laps out there today. So this is actually real riders on real bikes putting out real heart rates and real power right now out there out on course. These actually have professional riders as well as elite riders out on course here amongst the A category. These boys and girls can put out about 4.0 watts per kilogram or higher in and amongst this A category of racing. Actually, if you're wondering what's up with the A, B, C, and D categories out there, they all have, when you jump into a race, so you can see iBibby has KISS and then A in his race up at the top of the screen, or on the right-hand side of the screen there, you can see all the KISS A racers out there. They're part of the Keep It Simple Stupid race right now, and they're in the A category. And when you go ahead and join a race, there's actually different categories that you can jump into, usually A, B, C, or D. And that is so that everybody has somebody around their level to race against. Because if you jump onto the platform of Zwift and you're an elite cyclist, or you're a Cat 3 cyclist, or you're a Cat 5 cyclist, or maybe you never do any cycling much at all and you're just getting into cycling, there's always going to be somebody for you to join in, a group ride to join in with, a race to join in with, because there's all different categories based on what your fitness level is, and that's all going to be based on your FTP. I have no idea why that just came in for a second there. The Zwift Community Live C, for some reason, just jumped in there as well. That was interesting. Has that been doing that for a while? Is there some reason that I'd be interested to know if that has been doing that for a while, because I would not know if that was actually, because I wasn't watching the broadcasting software, but if that's been doing that, Zwift Community Live just says C. That was kind of interesting. Now the attacks are on here. Bibby's actually getting dropped off. Allenby now maybe dragging him along up to the group, though. There was an attack up and over the top of that little kicker out of the Essies there. That is a series of little climbs. Not usually the place. We're going to try and get eyes on it here. We're not going to see it, actually. But that is not usually a place where you see attacks that do get away, but it looks like they were able to put a little bit of hurt into the legs of Bibby as well as Allenby, but it didn't go much of anywhere. That was hilarious, actually, with all of a sudden the gigantic C. Talking to categories, that is one of the categories that is out on Zwift. But we do have a nice little graphic here. Carol, I know you are watching. We do need to update this graphic, as it is 2.5 or less for the riders out there for the the D categories out on course, actually. So let's make sure to try and get that updated if we can. Let's see if we can find that graphic for you, boys and girls, as I'm not seeing it quickly here. But I do want to show you guys what each one of the categories have for the watts per kilogram that you need to be holding in order to jump into the A, B, or C categories. What we can do, though, is we can show you over at zwiftpower.com. That might be the best way to go about it, actually, because zwiftpower.com does a great job of keeping track of what everybody's abilities are and what kind of watts per kilogram that they are throwing down. We are seeing Cartwright getting a little bit of a gap now, putting down 5.5 watts per kilogram. Innovation now closing that down, bringing the rest of the group right on in. Now, looking over here, though, we do see the live results over at zwiftpower.com. Head on over to zwiftpower.com, click on the KISS race, and you will be able to see all of the information in the live tab that is up here in the upper right-hand corner. All the riders that have actually this, as you can see, this little link on their name. Bibby, as we were saying earlier, does not have a link on his name. First time racing out on Zwift. Cartwright does, so if you clicked on that, you would have all his past race information that has been recorded out on Zwift. Lead group of 9, as you can see their current watts per kilogram that they've held at the maximum for 20 minutes so far. And you can see all these riders are the A category riders. The B category riders did all start together. These are the riders that are holding over 4.0 watts per kilogram. That is the maximum that you can hold and be a B category rider. If you hold over 4 watts per kilogram for a 20-minute duration, you should be an A category rider, and that bumps you into a correct category to be around riders who are the same level as you are. So all the B category riders are assumed to hold 3.2 to 4.0, and zwiftpower.com actually keeps track of that information. So you see all these red numbers, maybe time for some upgrades there. Now the C category riders now are supposed to be holding 2.5 to 3.2. Vaughn here right along with Patterson, and then we're seeing our hoop, it looks like Whitaker as well, all with 3.4, 3.6, 3.5. Time for some upgrades with all of those red numbers. Calling you all out, boys and girls. Come on now. We've been seeing these red numbers for quite a long time at this point amongst these categories. Let's get into the correct category and start getting yourself pushed a little bit harder out there, because that's what it's all about when you're out there racing on Zwift. D category riders then 2.5 or less is the assumption. Bayhall right along with Doherty and Peakus, as well as Seibels a little bit over there into that 2.5 to 3.2 for the C category. So it is A category. It is going to be 4.0 or higher. FTP, watts per kilogram, you can hold for 20 minutes straight. Then it's going to be for the B category, 3.2 to 4.0. For the C category, 2.5 to 3.2. And D category, 2.5 or under. And that is what these numbers are on the right-hand side are all about. 8.2 currently is what Cartwright's putting down with this sprint effort off the front, trying to get a little bit of a gap now over the rest of the riders here. 110 RPMs, 174 beats per minute as they go right on by Kerr there, who looks to be having a little bit of a rest day, as maybe been dropped off in the KISS race just now. Cartwright still killing it with Webb going off the front here. We do have the Melty Man trying to chase him down right along with the bike point, boys. Boy here coming from V. Mateus there out of Portugal. Melty Man hanging on to him. Loke is here as well. Bibby now trying to hang on 187 beats per minute. These are a couple of the moments of truth. 8.1 watts per kilogram, closing things down pretty quickly here. Allenby at the back here, still looking for that draft, being dragged up over the top of the climb now and looking for his moment. The pound's probably up over the top of the climb and on the downhill as he usually does. Locks, I'm going to be able to hang on now, getting dropped off 170 beats per minute. Next one to bite the dust is going to be a group of 8 now, it looks like, but maybe not a group of 8 as we do have a breakaway here with Cartwright, but now Cartwright brings it back as he's hit 181 beats per minute. Now Webb now just hanging on to the Juggernaut's wheel, but here comes the Melty Man with a arrow power up, actually 170 beats per minute. Maybe just looking to grab onto the wheels though. Maybe it was too much for him to easily grab onto the wheels, so he used the arrow power up, but it was so strong, brought him right on by. Doesn't look like any kind of attack though at only 3.8 watts per kilogram. It does have 2 seconds, but not a threat just yet unless they keep on letting it go. Cartwright, knowing that his teammate is off the front though, 7.5 watts per kilogram, immediately grabs a little bit of space between himself and the rest of the riders. Bibby now seeing that as a threat, kicks it into 5.5, grabs right onto that wheel. Now we are seeing this as a moment of truth though out on course, as it is going to be Allenby with Loke and then Webb. A lot of riders here getting dropped off left and right there, but they're all brought right back into the fold. But with all these attacks, the heart rates are going to keep on going up and over the top of threshold over and over again, and you can only burn those matches so many times. They're trying to loosen up these legs before the final lap. It looks like Loke now leading things out, 3.1 watts per kilogram. Solid effort still coming from Loke, hanging in amongst the riders. And we are seeing Joe Gavin Richardson cheering on Loke. Think this might be the first time I've seen Cartwright play the reversed approach. Liam Bard is saying go Tim and Brandon. Dirk John Loss is saying as well, cheering on the KRT team out there. We've got a lot of people cheering on a lot of different riders, actually. We've got innovation in the house here with the innovation cheering section. We got Liam Barr with the WBR cheering section as well. It is harder to get away now. Lee Prouty is asking. Yes, it is definitely much harder to get away now. So lots of different teams showing up in the chat today, cheering on different riders. We are also watching over at the Mixer channel. Let us know what you're thinking. Who's going to take the W today? Will it be Cartwright with a repeat of Tuesday night's win, or will it be Allenby, who a lot of times wins out on this course because of the sharp downhill on the other side of this climb? It is his usual attack on the downhill section, and then is able to get away and hold on to the gap if he does make that happen. We'll have to see. And so looking through here, we're also over at the Twitch channel. Not too many comments coming through at the Twitch channel, but I can see your chat. I will be bringing in as much as we possibly can. Good to see. We got a solid viewership, 23 viewing over at the Twitch channel, as well as 21 over at the Mixer channel, and then quite a few hanging out over at the Facebook. So on a lot of different platforms. You haven't visited our website, ZwiftCommunityLive.com. You can also find our YouTube over there for all VODs of all of the races. All right, we are up and over the top of the climb here in the A category. Cartwright along with the Melty Man here, still all together. Nobody's gotten away just yet. 3:34 still is the fastest time. I think they went a little bit slower up and over the top as they're waiting for the final lap here out on course in this A category race. Here's a kind of attack that will come from Cartwright along with Allenby. They do not want it to be a climber's delight out there on the reverse climb here. So Cartwright trying to get away, 8.7 watts per kilogram. Allenby going right along with them, not getting any kind of a gap except for one now. It looks like going off the back there. Is it going to be Bibby? No, Bibby able to hang on with a drafting power up though. Has to throw that down in order to hang on as they go flying by Nathan's avatar, who's sitting on the back on the side commentating. Here's the commentators booth, boys and girls, just hanging out here watching as they go past the C category riders who are getting lapped out on course today. All backing off to about 3.5 to 4.0 watts per kilogram as they're hitting the flatter sections, the tactical sections of the course today. Loke now 164. Two KRT boys now in and amongst there. One innovation as we look down from the top here. One WBR, one JLT Condor, and one Vision cycling with Adam Webb. We also seen the bike point. So they got the numbers. Will the Melty Man be able to throw down enough attacks to soften up the legs while Cartwright follows? Or will it be the other way around? Will Cartwright actually do the work for the Melty Man today? I have a feeling they may be setting up for the strongest man out there, which is going to be Cartwright, but they're going to have to maybe play their cards correctly. It's going to be Allenby, Loke, as well as Webb that they're going to have to deal with, as well as the wild card, who is Ian Bibby out there. Third place overall, got the bronze medal out there for the British Road Race National Championships, actually. So solid professional rider to be watching out for him today in the race. If I got that correctly, I hope I got that correctly. And it looks like, yeah, third in the Road Race National Championships for this rider out there. So bronze for him this year, solid ride. And we'll have to see if he can take the W here amongst these boys out on Zwift today, getting warmed up for that CVR World Cup in Paris that is coming up in September. Going to be a huge race with some professional riders as well as Zwift riders here getting some real life arena experience out on Zwift. I think that's absolutely awesome and really approving of the platform's ability to raise up riders through the massive multiplayer online community that would give people the opportunity to race against and ride with other professionals that are in the pro peloton and show where they stand amongst that. And I think in the same way that esports has risen up with its own professional players, that we are going to have professional riders / players of Zwift that maybe can develop directly through this platform that did not get developed through the usual governing bodies with UCI and their national federations, but instead, if there are organizations that come around about like CVR and others that can bring up the esports side of things with Zwift platforms and platforms like this and actually create esport type competitions, you could see your own trade teams and pro riders through that kind of competition. So really, really cool to see. And I think bringing in the the professionals to this and the mixing them in and amongst the Zwift racers really proves the platform's credibility as well as the riders' credibility in those real life though competitions. With the likes of Cartwright, Allenby, Szerzynski, we've also seen, I mean, a lot. I mean, Lindsay, my wife, as well as Rachel Elliott, who are in the women's race. Oh my gosh, we've got the C is up there. I'm sorry, you guys. I have no idea why that is happening. We don't have that. It's the C thing there is on some sort of a timer that I didn't set up. We're gonna have to talk to productions. What is going on there? The C is there still. I have no clue what is going on with that. So we were chatting about a whole lot of awesomeness there, and of course we just got a big old C in the broadcast there. So I have no idea what's going on with that. We're gonna have to see what that timer is. I'm just gonna delete that. I'm gonna delete that so that it doesn't do that again, because that's kind of hilarious. But at the same time, we don't want the giant C coming into the broadcast any longer here. There, the C is gone. It has been deleted from the preset all together. We've got Cartwright here now, as we can see here, 5.7 watts per kilogram, 5 seconds off the front. Does not want the climb to be the issue out here today. So we'll see if he can stay away there. And go Bib, Steve Beckett is saying, thanks a lot, Steve, for tuning in. Appreciate you jumping into the broadcast. I have no idea what was going on with that giant C. I do not know, boys and girls, but we're back with you here. Mateus here from Bike Point. We've got Webb as well as Alexis Luge, the Melting Man, and then D. Allenby. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and see here. Looking down from the top view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? No, not quite. I think we're down to 8 riders in and amongst the group now. Webb there hanging on to the Lokes wheel there. It looks like Bibby here now hanging on to the back there with the drafting power. He may be resting up. Maybe at 187 beats per minute though. Gonna need to use that drafting power up at this point to bring that heart rate down as they're about to make the climb one more time. Cartwright with the move off the front here. He's got 4 seconds now. If Cartwright gets enough distance though, but he's at 178. It might be a little bit too much though, too early. And with the group chasing him down at 3.5, 4.0 watts per kilogram, not sure he's gonna be able to hang on here. And there are gonna be riders here sitting in and amongst the group now, waiting for their moment to pounce and getting a little bit of a rest now. We are seeing the Melting Man kicking it up to 9 watts per kilogram, but he was just trying to hang on as the group continues to push on at about 26 miles per hour. Now Webb is going though, looking to bridge up the Cartwright here, 8 watts per kilogram. Serious move here coming from Adam Webb, Vision Cycling here. Cartwright now, KRT, seeing that Webb's coming up to him. This may be the moment there for the two of them to get away and use each other, work together to try and create some sort of distance, but Webb maybe just dragging the rest of the group up. There is a draft for Luge, but nothing for the Melting Man. Melting Man, 3.4 watts per kilogram. Mateus is there. Innovation there with C. Loke. We are seeing Bibby hanging on. 185. Allenby off the back, though. 169 beats per minute, though. 7.2 watts per kilogram. Will he be able to make this happen? Still all together, boys and girls. Not sure that there's going to be any breaks just yet, but here goes Luge now. 7 watts per kilogram. And they're all in this straight line. Look at this. The suffering is real. Cartwright is at the front, just setting this incessant pace of a 5+ watts per kilogram, trying to just break it apart there. But this is a risk. He is burning a match at this point, going into the climb, but he sees that it's this straight line. Now it's Grupo Compacto as you slow it up, and now they come flying by as they were just trying to hang out at a huge wattage. Everybody backs off, waiting for the climb that is only 30 seconds ahead of them. Will they have enough energy to have any kind of kicks? Who's got anything left? Who played it smart? And I think it's going to be the Allenby. Allenby been playing it extremely smart the last couple of days, as we do see 168 beats per minute. Webb though, 1.6, 1.9 watts per kilogram, resting up here. Now we do see Bibby at the back here, 4.6 watts per kilogram, 181 beats per minute there. We do have any metrics on him. We don't know where his max heart rate is. He might have a lot more to work with. Maybe if he beats like a butterfly up in that 200, we'll have to see. Here comes Bibby though, 12 watts per kilogram into the climb, but maybe with a little bit of, we haven't seen him racing out on Zwift, so he's going very, very early prior to even hitting the sharpest part out on the climb. But 186, 187, 572 watts. Luge now trying to file Bibby's wheel though, 7.3 watts per kilogram. Cartwright now trying to go as well, but he was off the front for such a long time. I'm not sure it's going to happen. Luge trying to follow things up. There's some lap traffic here that they're making their way through. Bibby now still into that 8 watts per kilogram, 9 watts per kilogram, 193. The heart rate continues to rise there, 10 watts per kilogram, 4 seconds off the front now. He may not be seen again, but he's going to have to hold on to this pace all the way over the top of the climb. Can he throw down into a 6 to 7 watts per kilogram all the way to the top of the climb? Cartwright trying to close things down here. The Juggernaut hasn't lost a race out on Zwift in quite a while, but now we've got the Pro Peloton showing up here with Ian Bibby here. 3rd place in the Road Race National Championships out of Great Britain now, showing that he's got it out on Zwift as well, but it's Cartwright here trying to chase it down. 6 seconds is the difference. Cartwright's been faded, boys and girls. 7.3, he's trying to kick again, but it's not happening. 8 seconds is the difference now. Mateus, Luge is there. Allenby, they're all saying, I can't chase it. Cartwright, the only one who can chase down Bibby. Will he make it happen, though? 7.8 watts per kilogram coming from Ian, and Cartwright throws his hands in the air for a moment there as he's got 5.1. Ian now off the front still. 4.8, though. Now kicking again. 8.6. 196. This boy beats like a butterfly for sure. 197 beats per minute. 493 watts. The attack is real, boys and girls. That is it. Off the front. 8 seconds. I don't think he's going to be seen again. 10 seconds up to Cartwright now. 182 beats per minute. Ian Bibby taking down the Thursday night KISS EU race with 12 seconds and only about 3 or 4K to go. I don't think he's going to be seen again without a monstrous effort from the man Cartwright. Cartwright has been broken. The Juggernaut finally meets his match, and now I think there's going to be a desire for a rematch in the real world CVR World Cup if he's going. I'm not sure Cartwright's going. He hasn't been announced yet, but I have a feeling that that's definitely a warm-up here, boys and girls, for some that we're going to see showing up over in France. What an amazing effort there from Ian. Off the front, 198. Now he just has to hold on to it. What an effort here from Ian now. But Cartwright still has 8 watts per kilogram to give. It's only 11 seconds, and if Ian fades it all, he might be caught. But Cartwright, again, we're seeing those moments of truth here from Cartwright where it's this kick and then nothing, and a kick and then nothing, and a kick. He's just looking for every ounce of power that he can find in those pedals. Again, it's this rest and go again and rest and go again because there's just so much pain, and there's just that serious physical limit to what he can possibly do at this moment. And Ian looks to be having a just amazing effort here with 7 watts, 8 watts per kilogram, and then kicking it back to 6, and then again, and with this professional type level showing up out on the platform here, he can do 6 to 7 watts per kilogram probably for a solid 5 minutes plus, because the kind of FTP that a rider like this will have is pushing into the 5.5 to 6.0 plus, and so the ability to do 6 to 7 all the way up to the top even after this climb, I mean, this is a 3.5 to 4 minute climb max, boys and girls. They can do these kinds of efforts, and Cartwright looks like has met his match with this kind of an effort from Ian. Now the kick was real up and over the top. He threw down a 320. Are you kidding me? 326, boys and girls. That is insane. And he did it solo without a group. 326 over the top. No group whatsoever. Bibby just demolishes the pack out on course. Cartwright with the aero power up, though. A little bit of RNG in his favor. And it will be Ian Bibby off the front there still. 19 seconds. Takes the W unless barring any kind of a dropout or anything. Takes that KOM as well right along with it. A solid, looks like 10-second difference up under the top. Cartwright still kicking, though, 10 watts per kilogram for a moment there. Holding off Luge, though, by about 38 seconds, though. The gap is absolutely gigantic, boys and girls, and that's how it's done early on from the start of the climb. Kick it right from the bottom there. Don't give any room for anybody to grab onto your wheel as you get into those more tactical sections of the reverse climb. Being new to the world of racing out on Zwift is definitely not showing for Bibby, as he showed us how to make it happen all the way from the bottom to the top of the reverse Watopia climb. Bibby, though, here at 6.9 watts per kilogram, which we're seeing 325 or so, being a lighter rider there from Cartwright. Cartwright with 7.2 watts per kilogram here, still closing it down here now. Being the heavier rider, has more watts on the flat here, is maybe able to close it down and make it a race still. Bibby's going to have to go. He's throwing everything into those pedals for the climb there, and Cartwright's coming on like a freight train now, boys and girls. 8 seconds is the difference. We called it for Bibby, but it's only 8 seconds. He's got got him within his sights, but there's not enough landscape left out there out on Zwift. 10 watts per kilogram. He's going to be able to throw down a sprint all the way to the line. Cartwright 8.6 here, 184 beats per minute. 7 seconds is the difference now between the two. Cartwright's still giving him a run for his money now, but it's not going to happen as Ian is in the final 200 meters all the way to the line, throws it down 196, 195. What an effort there, and takes the W in the KISS EU race on this Tuesday. So Cartwright now 5 seconds back from him is going to be taking second place. Here comes the sprint for third now with Webb. Actually, no sprint, catches loose, goes right on by, and lets it be known that he can get away in the last 500 meters for third place out on course. Innovation, though, going to be holding down for fourth, it looks like, maybe, as Loke tries to hold on, but Allenby, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait for the official results. That was too close to call. Photo finished between Loke and Allenby, followed by Mateus and Alexis Luge across the line in this A category. What a ride there all around. That was a 326, boys and girls. 326. Now we know. What does it look like when the pros show up out on Zwift? And Bibby letting us know that he's got definitely the power to throw down out on course. Love your commentary, Nathan. Look good to see you there. Double Osden. Normally listen while pounded away in the D-Cat. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Guys, we are probably not going to be able to find or make sense of any of the categories out on course. I'm sorry about that. We accidentally, we had a couple of technical difficulties today. For some reason, we had that gigantic C coming through. I'm not exactly sure what was going on with that. It kept on rotating its way in, and then we lost the race. We had to leave the pens because we got stuck in the pens momentarily. But what an effort there all around from the riders there. Nice job to Allenby, right? Nice job to Webb. Ian Bibby showing up and taking the W there. Cartwright was second place out there. Webb taking third place in the race. Let's go ahead and take a look at zwiftpower.com here real quick. I'm also going to check out what your questions, the comments have been coming on through. Amazing ride to see Loke coming through from Martin Jortvik. Let's go ahead and see what everybody had to say about the racing out there today. And we are seeing Dwan Grain saying Bibby Kane's at 120 plus. And we are saying, got to check Webb's HR. He might be dead. He's just stretching his legs. Ian Appleby is saying here, sweet move by the bib. Stephen Tweed is letting us know. And if only everyone announced races with Nathan's excitement levels. Thanks, Jonathan Robert. I appreciate that. Go TC from Joe Gavin Richardson. And so thanks a lot for tuning in, you guys, over at the Facebook and all of your comments. Again, if you ever want to jump into the broadcast, you can do so by making some comments over at the Facebook, as well as tuning in on Twitter with a tweet at us at Z Community Live. So that is the ways that you can go ahead and jump into the broadcast. All right, for the results here today, we're going to head over to zwiftpower.com just in a web browser here real quick. We are trying to update for and get back with the super slick looking graphics, but we don't have them just yet, so we'll just use the desktop capture for it here today. Ian Bibby, Pro Raider 4 GLT Condor, good to see him out there. 5.1 watts per kilogram for a solid 20 minutes was his best, it looks like, for the day. He used 3 aero power-ups and 3 drafting power-ups, so it was a little bit of RNG in his favor, but threw down for a solid effort out there for first place today in the race. Tim Cartwright takes second, followed by Adam Webb. David Allaby takes fourth, just barely nipping Chris Loke at the line there for fifth place. Solid ride all around. Round out the top 10 will be Vitor Mateus, followed by Alexis Luge, Brandy Melting-Talo, the Melting Man there, as well as Aaron Locks, and then it was Martin Firestone for 10th place. Nice job out there to everybody today. All right, so that is probably going to be it. I've actually got to go coach. I got Thursdays. I've taken up some coaching with a Nike team actually locally, so I'm going to go coach some kids for the new next generation of cycling actually in high school mountain biking locally. Going to go have a ton of fun, but I'm going to ride to the practice today, so I got to get going. It is nice out today, so no, one of the few times you'll see me off of Zwift. If you're unfamiliar with Zwift though, and you're just tuning in over at the broadcast over on Mixer or over on YouTube or our Zwift Community Live Facebook or else our Twitch channel, and you don't know what Zwift is, we'll go ahead and show you a quick little Zwift promo about what that is, as well as what's going on with the Zwift Academy. There's a lot going on on right now in Zwift. It's ramping up toward the winter/Zwift season, and we're going to be having the Zwift Academy launching for its official 6-week process on September 1st. I'm actually going to be running some rides for that. We just found out about that today, so you'll be able to join in for those live here on Zwift Community Live. We are also there. Well, Zwift is also launching the women's program as well as the men's program. For that, giving away pro contracts for the Team Dimension Data. One pro contract to on the men's side, the Team Dimension Data Continental Team, as well as Canyon SRAM Pro Racing Team on the women's side, as well as running a bunch of group rides for the Zwift Academy for everybody to better themselves through cycling as a community. So that's coming up tomorrow. We do have Zuzkana's ride out on Zwift. It is a introductory ride, 1.5 watts per kilogram or so. So if you're very new to Zwift or you're looking for a recovery ride, it's a 1 hour ride that she runs in conjunction with Zwift Fitness, and we will be doing that 10 p.m. Central Standard Time is when it starts, 9 p.m. Mountain Time for her. It's a late night ride for her, but kind of a Pacific PDT or else an Australia/New Zealand. Those two time zones is kind of what that's looking to serve. Go ahead and head on over to ZwiftCommunityLive.com for more information by clicking on all of our different places that we are live. Our Twitter as well as our Facebook is almost always the best way, though, to get up-to-date information. Or following us on our streaming platforms, Twitch or Mixer, is always going to give you a notification as long as you turn on notifications for those channels about whenever we actually go live. And I have no idea why that happened. For some reason, we have some sort of autoplay going on. Johnny, if you're here, buddy, let's figure that out. All right. Sounds good. All right. So this is what Zwift is. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow for a ride out on Zwift with the Women's Gateway ride with Zuzkana. Cheers.
Last year, Zwift Academy opened its doors, launching a groundbreaking worldwide talent search to find the next pro rider for Canyon SRAM racing. The competition exceeded all expectation. Over 1,200 women from 51 countries signed up to take the challenge in Zwift. In a truly grand finale, on the island of Majorca at Canyon SRAM's training camp, Leah Thorvaldsen of Little Rock, Arkansas, was crowned 2016 Zwift Academy champion and the newest member of Canyon SRAM Racing. This year, it could be you.
Oh wow, I could have a shot at a pro contract, but it's for anyone. It's a huge step forward in your own fitness, and so it's not all just about the one person who's going to get a pro contract. It's a win for everyone who's involved.
Zwift Academy is this great program where Zwift is trying to get the women more involved. It's just this huge, to me, a great community. There's women coming up going, I get how this could fit into my life.
What I think is so nice about Zwift Academy, I really think that it was inspiring lots of women to take part in this adventure. Maybe they've gone far beyond their own expectations.
How far I got in Zwift, there were 1,200 females that joined, and there were 100 females that finished Zwift, and I can't believe I was one of them.
Yes, it's hard, but come on, you can do it, you know, just do your best, because it's not just the physical side, it's the determination and to boost your confidence in anything else you do, not just cycling.
Find out how strong you really are. Find new friends from around the world. Find out if you have what it takes to go pro.
Do not wait, just follow your dreams.
Be the best cyclist you can be. Head over to academy.zwift.com to find out more and sign up today.